The Secular Education Network says parents would be horrified if they knew what their children are being taught in religious instruction classes. The network is launching a national campaign tomorrow targeting parents at the school gate, starting with Wharenui School in Riccarton.
Tell me who you are.
Hamish, Webb.
And Hamish, the question I'm asking all parents this morning, does your daughter receive religious education at the school?
She has, but at the moment she's doing health promoting schools, so a different program.
Okay, and so were you informed about religious instruction taking place before it took place, if you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I talked to her about what she wanted to do, and really also told the school that she's welcome to make her own decision regarding it. So hence she's kind of swapped backwards and forwards. So she has been in religious class and she's been in the health promoting schools.
Right, and so what's your understanding of how the religious instruction is provided at the school and who provides it?
Okay, my understanding is that it's provided by Riccarton Community Church, and I've been down there and talked to some of those people. Yeah, and I have popped in on a class and seen them teaching, and it seemed pretty tame compared to what I heard on the radio.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So they were doing some pictures and they were talking about, I think they were talking about the flood.
Right, well, the flood that was in Christchurch recently?
No, they were talking about like Noah's Ark and that kind of thing. Yeah.
Right. And so, what do you make of this argument that religious education should involve lots of different religions and not just Christianity in schools?
I think that's a really good point. Yeah, absolutely. We do have a lot of different religions in New Zealand, and why shouldn't they all have a say? Why is only one getting the choice of coming to schools and being taught? And also, why is it being taught, I guess, a little bit from a slanted perspective? And why is it not being taught by someone perhaps a bit more secular? Yeah, that would be mine.
Would you rather have a trained teacher providing religious education?
I think someone who is well informed about religion would be good. So, yeah. Perhaps a believer isn't, informed of all religions or all possibilities. So, more than just a believer, just someone who's studying religion as an overall would be a better class than just one perspective, one religion.
And so, are you making a bit of a film about all of this?
Yeah, I'm a daily vlogger on YouTube, so put up videos.
Wow. And so, your daughter's still at the school?
Yes, she is.
Yeah. And so, what church is it that's providing the religious education there? Do you know?
Yeah, it's Riccarton Community Church, and it's just around the corner there. And they also provide a after-school something called Unleashed, and I think that's on Thursdays. And they go down there and they spend a couple of hours and they play games, and there's some religious instruction involved in that as well. That's an interesting point that the lady made on the radio, because she was saying, a church is kind of the place to teach, if you want to learn about Christianity, you would go to a church and learn it, as opposed to go to a school.
Yeah. Okay, do you think that's a better place to be doing that sort of thing rather than in school time?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, right. And what do you make of the way the school's handled all of this? It's hard, isn't it, when your daughter's still at the school, I suppose?
I found it very interesting. I did get a note home and it had a brochure, and one of the things on the note didn't gel with me. As I said earlier in the interview, that I had gone along to a class and seen my daughter and what they were teaching. And in fact, it was two people from the church, and the note said that there was always a teacher in the class, and actually there was no teacher in the class this day that I went, so it's only a one-off. Maybe the teacher had popped out, I don't know, but I felt a little uncomfortable that the note was different to what I encountered.
All right, and but otherwise, do you want it to stop, or are you happy for it to continue at the school in the way it is?
I didn't have really strong feelings either way. I think like the church does a lot of support to the school. Like as far as I know, that church social workers come down here and can help children with problems, and certainly they were running an after-school basketball game and things. So, and I think that for a Decile 2 school, you know, any kind of people coming in to help is a big advantage to the kids.
I'm not sure if it's just the parents that I've seen and talked to today, but it looks like a real melting pot, especially for Christchurch, the school, in terms of cultures and religions.
Yeah, it is, certainly, and it changes too, because so many of the parents and kids here are in rental properties. So what we've seen at the school, like during my involvement with the school, is actually because of the earthquake, a whole lot of Filipino have moved in, so the culture of the school is actually something that evolves and changes. Very, very interesting.
Is that something, because I spoke to a Muslim woman who has 2 kids here, and they actually began receiving religious instruction, Christian education, and then she found out through her kids that was happening and had to pull them out. But she said she was okay with that. But do you think that in those sorts of cases, and it looks like there are a few Muslim kids coming here, that they should actually be a little bit more aware of how that's been handled?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because they've got a religious belief that's different to that. Something that I've heard from my kids is my son is actually very much against the way it was handled, because even though he was given the choice, he didn't feel it was the choice. And I'll explain a bit more about that. What happened to him was he came to the school and decided, no, I don't want anything to do with religion. And so he was actually put in the library where he was made to work. And then the teachers encouraged him, if you could go back and do the religious thing, they play games and stuff, it's more fun. So yeah, he felt it was very much just, you know, join the religious thing and don't do your own thing. And my daughter's helped promoting schools, and she's found, you know, that she's been freely able to switch. So what I would say about that is perhaps that the school has changed over time. I don't know whether it's true, but certainly the experience of my son and daughter, my son came through first, but the experience was quite different to what my daughter's experiencing now.
So things are improving, do you think? Or?
Well, from their perspective, that things are improving, yeah.
And so when was your son here, and what year is your daughter at?
Oh, okay, my daughter is at year 8, so this is her final year at Wharenui, and my son's been at unlimited high school for a couple of years.
Right, excellent. And so that's fantastic. Hey, look, thanks very much for talking to us. Can I give you your details, your mobile?
Stories out of
The Wharenui school?
No, I can't talk about that.
How come?
Turn off right now.
And I spoke to 2 people from the church, and the story was very consistent with the 2 people I spoke to, which was a bit of cause for concern for me. And what they basically said was, when I asked them the question about death and what they're teaching the kids, they said stories from the Bible. It's not a very specific answer, and it doesn't give me an idea still what stories. I think not only is it a question of what stories, but it's also a question of how those stories are told. To really understand that, I think we do need that safety of teachers in a classroom. And I guess the question I also did not ask was, because we got given a brochure about that these people were basically religiously trained to deliver this program in classrooms, and yeah, I wonder what that really means and how long that training was, and whether they can handle situations in a classroom.
Mind? I'll just give a quick photo if it's okay.
Okay, sure.
Excellent, great.